Hi, we're the Art Apes.
And we're on a mission to help you take your art further, faster, by giving you the information and understanding of advanced art theory and how to apply it to your art today. This video is about how we see and how, as artists, this affects us. It's pretty likely you've never thought about your vision in this way before, but this information will forever change the way you think about literally everything you paint and draw, no matter the medium you use. Stick with me. We're really excited to get into this information, but we need to talk for a quick moment about our sense of vision before we get into some meatier issues. Everyone knows about how light striking the objects makes them visible to us. White light has all the colors of the rainbow, and you can see color because of how surfaces absorb specific wavelengths of light. Blah, blah, blah. While it's good information, it really isn't important to us here today. What is important about these facts are that the light we receive changes in quality as it travels from the object to our eyes. One of the reasons for the change in quality of light is due to the dust, humidity, and volume of air between us and the subject. This is called atmospheric perspective, which we will cover extensively in other episodes. Oh my fascination with color. I can't wait. Okay, back on topic. Now, we see with our brains, not our eyes. Our eyes are simply the sensors that gather the information. Hopefully, you all know what a retina is and how it works. They are the flat sensors in the back of the eyes which receives the light. More or less, they're two-dimensional, same as our canvas or our computer. Just like the computer monitor, it's basically a flat image pasted on the back of the eye. So if we are only seeing a flat picture, how do we know the distance and the solidity of things? How do we see the third dimension, the depth and the thickness? Our ability to judge distance is due mostly to having two eyes in slightly different positions, this binocular vision. We avoid the mud puddle by computing the distance using our binocular vision. As wonderful as it is, though, our eyes can only focus on one distance at a time. The distance the eye is from the object you're looking at. And this is one of the chief causes of the continuing problems that artists confront when painting the backgrounds. In nature, the background will be out of focus when you're looking at something in the middle ground, but in the painting, the background is painted on the same canvas, or in other words, the same plane as the middle ground or the foreground. The fact that we can see individual objects in the foreground, the middle ground, and the background doesn't explain how we know just by the shape of the things around us how solid they are. We know when a cement sidewalk has been there for years and is wet from a recent rain, and how it looks different from cement that has just been poured out of a cement mixer and will make a mess of your boots. How do we know just by the look of it? Your sense of sight can only understand how solid objects are when it is associated with the all-important sense of touch. Sense of touch is a very highly developed sense in us, and when we are babies, we are continually drawing the world closer to us for us to feel. Have you ever watched a baby's hands feeling for everything within its reach? And even outside its reach, for that matter. After all, the child has no knowledge of what is and what is not within its reach. I remember being a young ape holding on to my mom's back hair. Sorry, flashback. Back to primate babies. Maybe you've dangled a bright toy in front of a cute baby and watched their clumsy attempts as they try to grab it, almost like they're blind. Since the baby hasn't learned how to focus distances, when at last the child does grab hold of it, how eagerly they feel it all over, looking intently at it the whole time. This is the way they learn to associate the feel of the object with its appearance. Slowly, they acquire the knowledge of roughness and smoothness, hardness and softness, solidity, etc., which later on they will be able to distinguish these features by sight alone. We depend so much on this incredible sense of touch. We must know whether the ground we walk on is hard enough or whether there's a hole in front of us. The light striking our eyes won't tell us much about our environment. Light is only a weightless reflection. But when our vision is combined with the library of knowledge we gained as young apes or children, when we connect our touch library with our sight library, we can tell there's a solid floor to walk on, or with different light hitting our eyes, there's a stairway in front of us. And it's the same with hardness and softness. The child who has smacked his head on a bed is forcibly reminded by nature that such things are to be avoided, and feeling that it's hard and that hardness has a certain look, it avoids that sort of thing in the future. When the child falls on a pillow, it learns the nature of softness and associating this sensation with the look of a pillow. In the future, when it sees something that has the attributes of a soft pillow, it doesn't need to be avoided, as hardness must be. Sight, therefore, is not a matter for the eyes alone. A whole train of associations are set in motion when we look at an object. There could be pleasant or unpleasant associations with different objects, such as a banana versus a snake. For example, love the first one.
The nope rope, not so much.
The association we're concerned with here is the universal sense of touch. Everyone sees the shape of an object and sees whether it looks hard or whether it looks soft, etc. This is important. Sees, in other words, the feel of it. Think of your artwork. Does the thing you've painted or drawn or whatever communicate the feel of it to your viewer? This painting by Edward Hopper is called Early Sunday Morning. The original is in the collection of the Whitney Museum. Hopper simplified everything in this painting. Do you see brick buildings? How did you identify this attribute? He didn't place the brick details, and yet he placed enough information in the paint for you to sense the hardness of the brick, perhaps even the rough surface of the brick. He found within his style a way of subordinating the smaller variations or details on the larger shape and yet still convey the texture and the feeling to the sense of touch. I remember having an epiphany about this very thing when I was waiting to go into work one morning. I was looking at a lamppost and thinking of how hard that lamppost was and that I didn't want to hit it with my car. Yeah, apes have cars. I thought of that, and I thought how I knew it was hard just by the look of it. How did I know? It wasn't reflective like my car. It was a dull metal, dull like my pillowcase has a dullness about it. Yet I absolutely knew that lamppost was hard and unyielding. So what attributes did it possess that told me it was hard? This is a really important distinction I see in many paintings. Water, which looks solid. Lampposts, which look soft and pliable. Dirt, which looks like concrete. Finding the essence, which describes the thing you're looking at in a way that convinces the viewer the feel of things in the painting, can make a painting sing. Hey, if you've gotten value out of this information, consider hitting the like button or subscribe button. We appreciate you watching.